no user flags. You can also say, okay, I want to set, you can do everything in a filter. So if you filter it by terrain 5, you can just check those if you want. But what you were asking, I think, was, okay, let's say I want the first 20 caches. All right, well, you just come here and set for the next in records, 20, enter, and there you go. So, got a lot of little tricks there, but if you play around in the menus, you'll find a lot of these that are hiding there that eventually you say, you know, we might have a use for that one day. Did everybody understand the question that she was asking? Oh, she was asking can you set a range of caches, set the user flag without having to check them one at a time. And you can either, again, go into this user flags, you can set all of them, of course, you wouldn't want to check all of them manually. Or you can set for your filter or the next so many. And that's based on where you're at in the screen. So if you're a little farther down, I think you say this without knowing what I'm talking about. So if I'm here and I go user flags, set next, list of 4, it sets it from where you're at. Did I miss anything on filtering?
Does it also give you the ability to filter by attributes? For example,
yes.
Field puzzles versus folders?
Yes. I'll show you that real quick. Now he was asking, is there an ability to filter by attributes? Now I'll be honest with you, I find, because I have a lot of older databases, that sometimes I don't have all the attributes in my database that are really out there. I'm not quite sure why that is. I think maybe the pocket query format, when it changed, it somehow locked that up for ones that were downloaded from the old. But nonetheless, the answer to your question is yes. And if you go to these, you'll see one of the tabs here is attributes. So if you click that, and then you got this giant list. So if you want to only find, where's that? Field puzzle, there it is. You can check field puzzle as your choice, and that's good enough, because there'll be a few of those, I think. Go. Oh, nobody has the field attribute puzzle set, at least in my database. But on the other hand, you might want to get dogs allowed. Hopefully there'll be something. Well, not my day. My guess is I don't have any attributes here. I'm probably using the wrong. What is when? Oh, available in winter. You guys are tricking me. My guess is this will work better for you than it will for me. Because I have a feeling I have the wrong version of the download setup. Finally, if you have a filter that you like, well, this is pretty bland, so let's just say I want my 5-star terrain filter. You can say go. I'm going to save that. Save. Now,
what's the difference? Do you have some are bold and some are not bold on your list there?
a bold in this is how GSAK works out of the box. If you have a additional waypoint assigned to that cache that comes the owner assigns it will show that as bold.
So there could be anything from being a multi-cache to a parking waypoint?
Well, it'd be one that you'd have access to. So multi, you probably, unless it's something strange, you would not normally have that, you wouldn't download, right?
Okay.
But for parking coordinate, trailhead, reference point, there's a cache up in Waukesha County that has called Who's That Girl that has a bunch of questions to answer. And they're like all over my GPS. Everywhere I go, I'm seeing these stupid waypoints all over the place. It's driving me crazy. So yeah, they're there. If you want to see those, real quick, give you a slight preview. We'll do a split screen, and then I'm going to change my split screen to show children. And there you go.
So all those bold ones mean they have additional waypoints.
Exactly.
Okay. Is that an automatic default, or do you have to?
No, it automatically, assuming that you get, I don't think there's anything you have to do. I think they always come. If you do something normal to load your waypoints, like you load the whole file, or you do it through the program or through the website, they'll automatically load up into your database. You can avoid loading them if you try, like take the zip file and break it apart, only load one of the halves of it. But I don't recommend you do that because most people like to have these waypoints.
Like, if they show up on the map, once they're loaded, it is the same symbol as the actual geocache. That can be deceiving.
It depends on your GPS and how you have it set up.
Okay,
Yeah,
thanks.
she's talking about they kind of load a macro and they go into her GPS and it downloads waypoints and it looks like a geocache, which is really annoying because you're like, oh, there's one right here.
And it's a parking lot. I'm like, oh. See, he's the tech.
I refuse to comment on parking lots.
So I don't like it.
Well, and you don't have to load your child waypoints either. It's up to you. And you can also change the symbol also.
Well, if you got the macro.
You don't have to use macro if you've got the right GPS, I can tell you that. All right. Oh, finally, let's say that we got our caches, we got selected here, and we downloaded our pocket query 2 days ago. Well, we could just go, but we could say, you know what, before I go out the door, I'm going to do a double check on just those caches I'm planning on finding. So you can do that really easily. Okay, this is good. I've got 29 caches. All I have to do is go here to geocaching.com access, refresh cache data. And see, this will let me get up to 30 logs if that's what I want. I'll usually duplicate that. I have a choice just one cache or all caches in the filter. I'll do all of them just for fun. It doesn't take that long. And this will go out and reload all of the data for the cache, so you do not have to bother getting another pocket query, messing around. Just one little click and everything gets updated.
That's a super feature right there. Saves you all that time.
Gas. All right, well, let it finish. I'll show you. It's that hard.
Only 30?
30 logs. All right, so there it's finished. Nothing new, of course. In fact, it says every existing. Okay, I think it got more logs. All right, so what you were asking, look up, is go here to geocaching.com access, and then just refresh cache data, and then you can check whatever you want there, and it'll do what you say. Now, on the other hand, while we're here, some people want to get all the logs of a cache, whether or not they're allowed to get them or not. And that's really easy to do here. From the same menu, you just go here, get recent logs. And you can only get 1,000 logs per cache. You gotta ask her. A lot of people want them though. The hot ticket, I'll just do one cache here. There probably has very many logs on this one anyway. So I have this ivory bill woodpecker challenge. I can tell it to give me the last 1,000 logs on this. Now, I will tell you that this is throttled. They put this out as part of the API, and at one point in time, they diagnosed it out in Washington that 90% of their web traffic was this. People getting logs because it takes a lot. Everybody and their brother was doing it. So they limit you to so many logs per minute and so many logs per hour. I think it's like 30 logs a minute, and I don't know what the number is, like 1,500 per hour or something like that. So you don't want to just run this on everything. But for one cache, I would do it. This does not take into account that 6,000, I don't know if I mentioned this, when you do the updates automatically, not for a pocket query, but just getting the cache updates, you're limited to 6,000 a day. And it's kind of a rolling clock. It's not like 24, it's in any given 24 hours, you can only do 6,000. Normally it's not going to be a problem. This doesn't affect that. And you can see this tells me I just added 53 logs and 30 of them were updated somehow. I don't know why. 53 people found their cache. Okay. And then finally in the same area, you can do just a status check. And if you don't want to, let's say that you, for some reason, used up all your downloads, or you don't really want to waste time, I can do a status check on this filter, all the filter, and that will happen fairly quickly. I hope.
What does that do? What is
All it does is tell you whether or not it's active, inactive, or archived.
Oh, that's good to know.
So if all you need to find out is that, that's fine. Now the one pitfall with this, and I actually ran into this morning, is that sometimes you will have an updated cache page. Well, I'm getting ahead of myself. One last thing I'm going to show you that you can do with GSAK is if you have a puzzle cache, this is not actually a puzzle cache, but we'll pretend like it is. If you go here, click on the cache, and I'll just do a right click, it's easiest. You can enter corrected coordinates. So I can say, this is good for if you've solved the puzzle, you can save your puzzle solutions. Okay, or if it's one of these people where 87 people are all posting that the coordinates are here and the guy never updates the page, well, you can go change it for yourself at least, and then you at least won't be going to the wrong location, even though everybody else still will.
Can you show us how to get there again for this?
Sure. In fact, I'll do it a different way. You pick the cache you want to change, you can go to waypoint, and then come down here to corrected coordinates. Or if you're like me, and you already have this little yellow warning sign in your table, that's the corrected coordinate icon, you can just go to it and double click on it, and it'll open up the same line.
So does that pull the corrected coordinates from the logs? of
No.
people who found it?
This just came in, this is whatever the current coordinates are now, and if I want to change that, I just have to type it in.
Okay, I must have missed something. I thought you said something about if the owner hasn't actually updated it.
Well, that's one of those cases where you may want to do it, but you would still have to do it manually. Think of it more for puzzle caches. That's really what it's for.
Yeah. You're updating it for yourself for future reference.
Exactly. That's a good way of putting it. That's why I knew you were here for a reason.
A lot of people will keep a mass, like myself, keep a master GSAK file just for all their solved puzzle boards. And so that's your phone a friend help, etc. When Dave calls me, he says, did you do that one? I don't write them down anymore. I have one GSAK file that's all my solved puzzles in, and it's kind of nice, actually.
It's handy.
And actually, if you do change the coordinates, when you go to the information page, it will, in red, say corrected coordinates. So when you look at it as GSAK, you at least know you changed it.
Correct. And there's actually a way, even though I haven't figured out quite how to do it yet, that you can change the icon on your GPS. So there'll be one icon for ones that have corrected coordinates and ones that don't. But I have not figured that out yet. We'll maybe explore together a little later.